and you know.
This was done as a birthday gift for Shannon as a surprise. She wrote this in her own words to me, so we decided to fancy it up and surprise her back in 2003. Here you go, Shannon. You can read that to me
Okay.
in your own words. Well, as it's written.
All right.
Typed, I mean.
This poem's called "My Guy," and this is what I wrote when
Look
we
at me
first
when you
met.
read it.
Okay. You're the sun in my blue sky. Out of all, you're my favorite guy. You're the diamond in my ring. You're the sweetest, most wonderful thing. You're the only rose in my vase. I love to look at your gentle face. The only fish in my sea. You're the only bird in my tree. When I look into your deep blue eyes, I get a sugar high. You're the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It just makes me want to cry. I'm happy, so happy and couldn't be happier. I got my prayers answered. You're the romantic moonshine in my night. In the dark, you're my light. I see you in my dreams. I see you in reality. You're always on my mind. You were so hard to find. But I managed to find you, and God helped me be able to do so. You rescued me from grief, and now I no longer will be deceived. I praise God you walked into my life and gave me good advice. You made me a better person. I'm no longer hurting. I love you, Randy Ruley. Sadness is no longer controlling me. I've actually walked into a bright garden, the garden that me and you alone will share. And out of all the people who knew me, you were the one that cared the most for me. Date April 12th, 2003.
We'll never part. She's my soulmate. You know when you find the right one. I did. She seemed to come out of nowhere when I met her, and she just caught my eye, and she said I walked out of nowhere too. She was on a swing set. Still remember that blonde-haired fella?
Yeah. I remember all that.
Met her right after my
No,
mother. I met her right before
Playground.
my mother died. Met her in 2000. Mother died a year after that, and everything seemed to just fall right into place. As if it was just predestined. It had to be, you know. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen the way it did. Hey.
See ya.
I love you.
Love you too.
No. Hey. My goals are to be a chef, own my own house, and be with my girlfriend Shannon. Eventually get married, hopefully have some kids. But that's got to be up to her as well. I want my own family. Never had one. The only way I could truly have one is to start one. That's my biggest goal. But also you have to be financially able to do it, so that goes hand in hand with it. One SSI, disability. That's why I want to get through school so I can become a chef, make the income I need. I don't want to make the same mistakes my dad made. I come from a broken family, in and out of foster homes and everything like that. Got a lot of anger issues still to this day because of it. Obvious reasons. Mother passed away 6 years ago on October 17th. But my grandmother's still living. And I like this because she always sat in the rocking chair. This is an antique too, by the way. My dad's side of the family, they could probably care less if I'm living, to be honest with you. Yeah, they're no better. Because they never really claimed me. So, whatever. That's their loss, not mine. Can't lose what you never had, right? This was my mother's funeral book when she died. That was tough on me. I hate what happened to her. But if you want to look through that, she was 58 years old. Of course, these are the people that signed it. But I'd like to try to. You know, this is too painful a subject. The unclosed chapter that I believe is my mother dying too soon from a system that killed her. Bottom line, all those pills destroyed her. Quit medicating people. It ain't right. Psychiatric drugs kills your whole system. Kills you. And it starts from the mind. When I kicked my mother's door in, I remember there was a black woman named Mrs. Woods. I remember she slapped Mrs. Woods. My mother slapped her. And this undercover cop grabbed her in the chokehold. Obviously that's going to scare a 6-year-old kid, right? My sister's yelling at him. She at the time, I think she was 16. And put her in a chokehold. I'm running down the hallway in Masontown, that apartment, crying and screaming, leaving a trail of piss behind. To be honest with you, on both sides of the family, I was really never really totally considered. After I wound up in a foster home, my mother's kids were really never really invited anywhere, really, if that makes sense. When they took us away, my mother's in the backseat of their car, and I'm in the other car. Me and my brother Raymond, we're screaming, we're crying, we're like, we see my mother fade into the distance, we're waving, she's crying, reaching out. Can imagine that. Don't mind me. Obviously you can see I try to suck it in, that's where the anger comes out. Ever since that trauma. I'm trying to rush through it too, because I hate talking about it. We can even do it in a part 2. It's too hard. But we'll just skip ahead. I just can't even talk about it right now. It's too hard. No, when they told my stepmother at the time that your son has a vivid imagination, when I told him what happened in foster homes, then that's telling you straight out that your son's lying. You fabricated it all. What 10-year-old's going to lie about something? I got told to stay in the corner. So I did. I stood in the corner. And I'm going to demonstrate this if you don't mind. I'm standing here like this, crying. And they're drunk. My brother Raymond's crying. And then the foster dad, next thing you know, comes in, grabs my head like this, and bashes it up against the wall really hard. And that's why I'm deaf in my ear to this day. So they robbed me of my hearing and everything. They rot in hell for it. And at the time, the woman, Marie, if you want to call her a woman, was trying to get my brother Raymond to eat. He was crying because he was shook up over that. So you know what she did? She took the hamburger and jammed it down his throat. So needless to say, I went through a lot. I was in the tub. Phone rang. She told me not to get out of the. She told me not to get out of the tub for any reason. I said, okay. But see, under all the circumstances, problem with my mother, I wasn't quite completely potty trained yet, even at age 6. But that wasn't her fault either. And so for no reason, after seeing all that, what had happened prior, I didn't get out. Needless to say, I had to do number 2. Not what kids say. So, anyway, she's talking. I decided to get out, but they just had a new floor. Then I decided to get back in. I got scared. So, needless to say, I had the accident in the tub. So when she came back in, her name was Rose. Well, Marie. She preferred Marie. And she came in, and she took me out, rinsed me off, let the water out. And then when she saw that, next thing you know, she said, "What is that?" You know, she said it real loud, demanding. What she made me do, and while I was doing it, she made me get in there, scoop it up in my hands, rub it from head to toe, in my hair, everything, bottom, between the toes, everything, and rinse it off with hot water. I couldn't even use cold. All the while, she said my mother was this nutcase I was never wanted, that she would know that if she doesn't continue to fuck up, that we would all be adopted out. She said she only wanted Raymond, but in the contract we had to be together, not separated. But they only wanted him, and the only reason why they took me is because they felt forced to. And she said, "And don't think for 1 minute that my husband likes you either, and believe me, he's going to make your life hell here." It's exactly what he did. This is before the beating of my head. And with all that, like I said, I wasn't even allowed to rinse that off with soap. Just water, straight hot water. And then I'm screaming, I'm crying, it hurt, whatever. And those things that she said was hurting too. And then I didn't even get to sleep in my nice bunk bed either at that time. I slept in big burlap sacks I used to keep greening for pigs. That's what I slept in. Rope around my neck. The only thing that was out was my head, so I could breathe. This is where the garbage sleeps. Pigs. That's what I was told I was a liar. By the mental health at age 2. What did they get? Don't do it anymore. You're not allowed to be a foster parent anymore. So, if they're listening, if they ever get into this, their last name is Mons. I think they owe me a lot. You're on camera. Yeah. Oh, look, see how he closed his eyes? Oh, he's sleeping. I hate these bells. Come on now, for crying out loud. Sounds like Hell's Bells, don't it? Might as well be Hell's Bells. I'm talking about the hell of my life. Is that on there? Come on now. That's why I hate this block. Jesus.